Hi, my name is Andrew Reynolds. Now before I get into this today, let me ask you a very quick question. Are you fed up with your job? Because if you're anything like me, I used to hate my job. I hated being woken up by the alarm clock first thing in the morning and driving to work, getting stuck in the rush hour traffic for hours. I hated sitting in that office watching the clock ticking away. I hated the fact that on the first of the month I'd start work, I'd work through the whole month, and at the end of the month I just about had enough money, literally just to pay the bills. Then I had to go back to work on the first of the next month and start all over again. It was kind of, I was really just locked into the rat race. I just never seemed to be making enough to kind of give myself the freedom to live the lifestyle that I really wanted. And more importantly, I never made enough to give my family the lifestyle that I felt they deserved. And yet, you know, even back then, I just had this gut feeling. I just knew absolutely that someone out there somewhere knew a better way to live and a better way to make money, which meant that, you know, I could get out of what I was doing and I could leave a job that I hated. I just fundamentally believed that somebody could show me a better way to do it. And I found it. Quite by chance, literally out of the blue, I met I can only describe him as a shy, reclusive millionaire guy who, literally working just a few hours a week from his home, was making over 30 grand a month. Now, 30 grand a month was more than I've been used to earning, you know, in a whole year in my full-time job. So you can bet I was pretty keen to find out what he was doing. But I got him to teach me his simple system so that I could copy some of the ideas he was using and start the thing off for myself to get away from that job that I hated so much. He showed me a really simple system that I could start, literally starting on a shoestring budget, in my spare time, in my spare room at home. That system that he showed me has fundamentally changed my life. Today my life is so different. I've been able to buy several homes for myself, each of which have cost over £1 million, which I paid in cash, no mortgages, no loans, nothing like that. I've been able to buy my beach house, for example, which is a lovely house set right on a private, secluded beach where I now work from. I drive beautiful luxury cars, which I've been able to buy again for cash. And all of this because I started a simple little business, which I now run from my study at the beach house, literally on a part-time basis. A little business which, in the last 12 months, for example, has made me over £1 million. That's £1 million for running a little autopilot business in my spare time from my study at home. That's £1 million in a year from a little autopilot business that I run from my beach house or wherever I happen to be in the world, all from my little laptop computer. See, that's the beauty of this type of business. I can literally run this from my home, or I can run it, you know, wherever I happen to be on the planet. So if I'm traveling, I mean, for example, last year I went to Australia. I've been to Nepal, I've been to New York, I've been to Las Vegas, Paris, even South Africa. Loads of places where I can run this business, literally just working from my laptop, wherever I happen to be. As long as I can get an internet connection, I can run this business almost anywhere on the planet. Now, I was asked by one of the UK's leading book publishers if I'd consider writing down my system in a simple to understand book. That's what I did. In fact, I'd love to send you a copy of my book, which is called Copy This Idea. I'd love to send you a copy today with my compliments. Now, this is not a book which is filled with kind of charts and graphs and that sort of thing. This is not kind of some theory, because I'm not one of these kind of business gurus. I'm not one of these guys that you see on any of these TV reality programs, you know, the business programs that we all know and love. I'm not some guy who's got a column in the Financial Times. I'm just an ordinary, down-to-earth guy who started a little business in his spare room at home and went on to bank over £50 million, literally starting from the spare room on a shoestring budget. I would love to send you a copy of the book to show you exactly how I did that, step by step. In the book, you'll see that I'm nothing special. I'm not one of these people that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth with loads of money. In fact, when I was born, I was brought up living in a caravan. It's not that my parents were gypsies, it's just that they had no money when they got together, and literally I was brought up in a caravan and my family bounced along the poverty line in all the years that I was growing up. I went to school on the local council estate. I never did particularly well at school. I left school with like 4 exams, one of which was woodwork and one of which was drawing. So you don't have to be a genius to run this type of business at all. The simple system that I'll show you in the book details exactly how I went from starting on a shoestring budget, working in my spare time, to banking over £50 million just doing what I've been taught. I'll show you step by step how I did it, right from when I got started, right through to making my first million and going on to become a multi-millionaire using exactly what I show you in the book. What I'll show you in this book allowed me to walk into my boss's office at work and to hand in my notice so that I could start my business. Now, you don't need to do that, by the way. You don't need to hand in your notice to start this business. Sensibly, you should start this on a part-time basis, literally evenings and weekends. Turn the TV off for a few nights a week. Evenings and weekends, you can get started on this and you can get this business up and running before you go and tell your boss what to do with the job. This simple little system allowed me to move out of my little 3-bed semi on the local housing estate into my very first £1 million house. A house that I paid for in cash. I mean, you should have seen the look on my solicitor's face when I walked into her office and I presented her with a cheque for £1 million in cash to buy the house. No mortgage, no loans or anything. £1 million in cash that I could buy that house for. This system has totally, fundamentally changed my life. In the book that I'd like to send you a free copy of today, I'll show you exactly how the system works. I'll show you how I got started on a shoestring, and I'll show you how everything works so that you can copy this idea for yourself. Now, this book went straight into the Sunday Times Business bestseller charts. Not once, not twice, but 3 times it's appeared in the Sunday Times Business bestseller list. Not content with that, it also went in straight in at number 1 in the W.H. Smith's business charts. And it also went in the same month. It went not only in the business charts, but it also went into the non-fiction charts in W.H. Smith as well. So for 1 month, we're number 1 in both of their top non-fiction charts. It even made an appearance in the Sainsbury's book chart, and I've never seen a business book in the Sainsbury's book chart, but we managed to get a position within the Sainsbury's book chart as well. So this book has been featured not only in all the W.H. Smith's high street stores, but it's also been featured in the Sainsbury's charts in about 500 stores nationally. In the book, there's a chapter called The First Million, where I take you from literally starting up in my spare room on a shoestring budget through to the point where I pulled in my first £1 million using the system that I lay out in the book. There are loads of other chapters. I mean, there's one called Stack the Deck in Your Favour, because I do believe in business that you know, if you can find a way to stack the deck in your favour so you've got a greater chance of success rather than failure, it just makes sense to do it that way. There's a chapter called What Sells Best and How I Make My Money, where I show you exactly what it is that I do. I show you exactly what it is that I sell, the types of products that I sell, and I show you exactly how I make my money. I show you in detail how the system works. Probably the most important chapter in the book is one called How to Go from Making a Few £100 to Banking Your First Million. In this chapter, I take you literally from the point where I've started my business using the system that I was shown. I've started up in my spare room. I've got it to the point where it's putting in a few £100, and then I just tweaked the business system that I've been shown slightly. I just gave it a little tweak, and that one little tweak, which I detail in the book, took me from making a few £100 to banking my first £1 million. You're going to want to see that chapter. There's also a chapter in the book called It's Not Just About the Money, which is kind of an odd thing to have in a book on how to make money. But for me, it isn't just about the money. Once I'd used the system myself, once I banked the £50 million, once I put myself in a position where I was financially free, so I'd sorted out my own financial situation, I'd helped my family and a couple of friends that needed some assistance as well. Once I'd taken care of that business, once I'd bought myself the house and the car, and I'd enjoyed the holidays and all the other things that having the money brings, I then decided to do something different. Because when I was growing up as a kid in relative poverty, I promised myself that if ever I found a way out of poverty, if ever I found a way to make a huge amount of money, that I'd do 2 things. Number 1, I'd share that with other people so they could copy what I've done, and I think you'll agree that's what I've done by offering you a copy of the book. I said I decided I'd share the information with other people, but more importantly, I also decided that if I made a lot of money, I'd do something sensible with it rather than just frittering it away on all the kind of toys and the glitzy stuff. I mean, just as an example, I've got one of my students. That student followed exactly the system that I taught him. He came to one of my workshops a couple of years ago. He's followed my system, and already he's banked over £10 million doing exactly what I showed him. He followed my system in detail, exactly as I showed him how to do. He started the thing off from his spare room at home, and already he's pulled in over £10 million. But it's kind of gone to his head a little bit. This is a guy who likes to spend on bling. He's bought a wristwatch. He bought this wristwatch, right, which is kind of covered in all sorts of bling and diamonds and things. He paid something like £60,000 for a wristwatch. Where I am in life, I don't think it's about having a wristwatch that costs £60,000. I'd rather do something sensible with the money, put something back into society if I can. For an example, and I'm just talking to you about this so that you kind of get where I'm coming from. For example, if you went to Great Ormond Street Hospital today, you'd find there a multi-bed treatment room, a 6-bed treatment room in Great Ormond Street with the name of my business on the door. The reason that my business plaque is on the door there, it's kind of a legacy thing, because I use the techniques. I use the techniques in this book. I use these techniques to raise every single penny to build that ward at Great Ormond Street Hospital. I used the system that I'm going to teach you in this book to raise every single penny. That for me is so much better than just buying yourself all the bling and wasting it on diamond encrusted wristwatches and things. That room there at Great Ormond Street has been there for something like 10 years now, and that's all through what I'm going to teach you in the book. I teach you the exact system I use to put in all the money to build that ward at Great Ormond Street Hospital. On the other side of the coin, a few years ago I went on a holiday to Cape Town, South Africa, and I went to the townships of Cape Town, and there I met a lovely lady who runs a soup kitchen feeding around 400 orphan children every single day. If you'll literally just indulge me for a second, I'd just love to show you a little clip which introduces you to my friend Rosie. Let's take a look. In one quiet corner of Kailicha, I met the most amazing woman called Rosie who runs a soup kitchen to feed the kids each and every day. Starting around 5 a.m. every day, she meets the bread lorry who delivers yesterday's bread so that she can make a small sandwich for all the kids she feeds. Then she and her sister work tirelessly every single day to make midday and evening meals for upwards of 400 people a day from their makeshift kitchen in a little shack just a few doors away from her home. But Rosie gets no state help though, she does everything herself. Up till now, a charity has been sending in the raw foodstuffs for her to cook, but the funding for the charity has recently dried up, and Rosie has been struggling to get enough ingredients to keep her soup kitchen open and to keep the kids fed. There's been something bugging me that you said if you don't get the funding, then the kids are going to go hungry, and that's...
How can I tell the little child that there is no food today because there was no food to cook? So the child won't understand you, so that is my biggest problem and worry.
Obviously you've only just met, but perhaps I could help you with towards the cost of the food. If we were able to send you some money over, would you be able to use that?
We always need food.
Would it help if we arranged to send you 10,000 rand a month? Mm-hmm. Would that help you?
Wow. It will.
Would that help you?
It will. God bless you. We need people like you to help us.
It seems bizarre to me that just because I learnt a system for making money from my spare room, that halfway around the planet last night, over 400 kids went to bed with food in their belly, all because of the system that I'm going to teach you in the book, all because of the way that I make money from my spare room at home. That's enabled me to do things like helping Great Ormond Street and like helping those children in South Africa. Now, I can't tell you what to do with your money, obviously. I can show you how to make the money. That's the easy part. I can show you through the book and through my courses and things exactly how to make the money. That is the simple part for me. I can't dictate what you do with the money, but what I desperately hope you'll do is once you've made some money for yourself, once you've put yourself in a position of financial freedom, once you've helped your family and your friends, once you've set yourself up and had the houses and the cars and the holidays and everything, I hope, like me, that you'll do something sensible with the money. I would really love to think that you'll commit right here today that if I send you a free copy of the book and show you how this works, if I teach you how to put in this money, that you'll commit right now to putting aside 10% of the money that you make and putting it towards some worthwhile cause, just like I do. If you'll do that, if you'll commit to using some of the money sensibly like that, In addition to sending you a free copy of the book, I'll also send you some other materials to really help you get kind of fast track so you can get started. I'll send you today 3 DVDs. I'd like to send you The Millionaire Secrets, where I show you in more detail some of the work that I've been doing in South Africa. I'd love to send you the £500,000 challenge, where I was challenged to pull in £500,000 in less than 7 days using the techniques that are in the book. Now, I was followed around by a camera crew, literally following me for 7 days as I used the system that's in the book, and literally they had a camera working over my shoulder, looking at my laptop screen all the time as I pulled in that £500,000. You'll see the results, you'll see the orders coming in live on the screen, and you'll see that £500,000 come in less than 7 days. I'd love to send you that DVD. I'd also like to send you my DVD called How I Pulled in Over £50 million, which was filmed live at the O2 Arena when I presented one of my entrepreneurs boot camps, which I do quite regularly for charity. I'd love you to see that DVD as well. So you've got a copy to keep. I'm going to send you the DVDs, but I'm also going to send you a link so that you can go and watch these live online as well, so you can watch them on your favourite device, like your tablet or your smartphone or whatever. I'll send you that absolutely with my compliments, as well as a copy of the book. I'd also like to send you some other materials as well. Obviously in a I think it's 186 pages, in 186 page book that's designed to sell in W.H. Smith's, I can't possibly hope to show you all the intricate detail of how the system works in the greatest minute detail. So for students of mine that are really serious and want to take this thing forward, I have a simple step-by-step monthly course that I publish that I send out to my students once a month so they can get their business started and I can help them through. Now that course is normally $29.95 a month, but I'd like to send you the first one absolutely free. I'll send you that with my compliments when I send you the book and the DVDs and the other materials today. You can cancel the thing at any time. If you don't want to subscribe to the thing, just let me know within 30 days and it won't cost you a single penny. I'll send you that $29.95 module of the course with my compliments today. I'd also like to send you, I've got a couple of other things. I have a newsletter that I publish. Now I obviously travel the world quite a lot, and although the title of my book is Copy This Idea, because you'll be copying my way of doing business, obviously as I go around the planet I see other self-employed individuals, other entrepreneurs that have lots of different other ways of making money. What I do for my subscribers is I write about those once a month. So wherever I am, I write about a particular way of making money, which is not the same as mine, and I put it into my newsletter. I'd like to send you a 6-month subscription to that newsletter absolutely free. Now normally that subscription is £97 a year, but I'll give you the next 6 months absolutely free. That's a £48 value. In fact, just to really get you up and running fast, I'd like to give you the last 12 months back editions as well. So it's another £97 value as well. I'll give you 12 months worth of back editions. So you've got 18 months worth of newsletters absolutely free as part of the package I'd like to send you today. To get started straight away and to get your copy of the book, just press the button on the page and let me know where to send your package to. I'll send you a free copy of the book, which normally is £9.99. I'll send you the 3 DVDs worth £67. I'll send you the first module of my monthly course, which is worth $29.95. I'll send you a 6-month trial subscription to the newsletter, which is a saving of £48. And I'll also send you a whole year of back editions worth another £97. I'll send you all of this if you'll just pay a contribution towards the cost of the postage of just £2.87. You get a full package of materials, including the DVDs, the module, the newsletters, and the Sunday Times Business bestseller for just a contribution towards the postage. So click the button at the bottom of the page and let me know where to send your package so we can get you started straight away. Click the button right now. Now, if you've not taken advantage of what I've shown you today, just think about the things I've actually talked about today. If you're anything like me, back then, before I changed my life completely, I was probably in the same situation as you. I was working full-time for a living. I was sat in the office, I was working around the clock. I was literally working from the beginning of the month to the end of the month just to pay the bills, to go back to work next month and do it all over again on some sort of repeat cycle where I was just stuck in the rat race. If you're in that situation now, you need to get a copy of this book. You need to get the other materials, because just for a contribution towards the postage of just £2.87, you get all these materials worth almost £250. I'm going to send all those to you so you can at least take a look at this. I know how this has changed my life and how it's given me the lifestyle that I always dreamed of. So let's see what it can do for you as well. Click the button below and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, now if you're still not sure, or maybe you just want to check me out a little bit, why don't you have a listen to what these people that came to my boot camp recently had to say about the book and about me.
I've read Copy This Idea, and it's a really good book. And again, if you're thinking about getting into this kind of business, it's a good start-up book to tell you exactly what's required, what you need to do, and actually what you can get out of it, really.
If you're up for it, he's going to give you a good synopsis of what it is that you need to do. And it's really quite simple. It's simple, it's not hard work. It's just persistent work. Follow orders. It's like, follow this idea. That's what it is. And it works. Yeah.
He was offering a free book, which was a #1 bestseller. And I thought, okay, let's actually read that through. And you know something, I'm absolutely getting turned on by all of this, making money.
So I've read a copy of this idea, and I found it really inspiring. Okay, so Andrew's story is inspiring, and it kind of makes you believe that as just a normal person, you could actually make this work. And to be honest, I reread the book, having bought it maybe a year ago. I reread it a few weeks ago, and it's why I'm here.
Spot on. I love the book, absolutely. It's changed my life. I have to say it. Definitely changed my life.
Copy This Idea is something out of this world. It's actually a brilliant book. I do believe that anyone who has read or reads this book will indeed, you have no option but to go forward. It must be a deliberate action you want to retard yourself not to take action when you've read this book. You know, it's brilliant, excellent book.
It's a brilliant idea. I've been involved in a bit of internet marketing, and what he's done with the book is true. It's easy. If you follow the system, you'll make money.
This Copy This Idea is fantastic, and I think fundamentally it's a very, very simple idea. It's a straightforward idea, and it's something I think everybody could do if they're allowed, give themselves the kick up the backside to actually go and do it, which is what I need, which is what I'm doing myself, sort of kicking myself to get going.
I've read Copy This Idea. It's a great book, and it really set me on the road to becoming financially free. I read it a year ago, and I'm on that path now, and I'm just raring to go. Brilliant book.
All you need to do is copy them. And it sounds very simple, but it's actually true. I mean, for me personally, it's been brilliant. I've had, as I said, quite a lot of success over the years, pretty much solely down to Andrew. And yeah, I'd just like to follow whatever he does.
The atmosphere is so positive. He's just giving everyone so much advice and so much help, and the fact that he comes down to meet everybody, I just think he's great.
But he's not fake. He's far from fake. And he gives people opportunities. If they want to take the opportunities, they'll go far.
I think the main thing that impresses me is what he's done for others. He's created a fantastic business, made a lot of money, but he's also made a lot of contributions to other people's lives, both through his business. Obviously, he's made a lot of other people wealthy, but also he's helped a lot of people who need help and can't help themselves, and I think that's really important.
I bought Andrew Reynolds' book a few months ago and I was totally inspired. I've actually come down from the Shetland Islands up in Scotland all the way, and this is my first seminar, and I've seen him on stage, met the man himself. I think Andrew Reynolds is very motivated, very inspiring, and I hope to learn a lot from him.
I think he's a fantastic individual. He has actually been doing some stuff which really has impressed me greatly. Yes, in terms of helping the underprivileged and some people who are meeting some adversity in life. So because of that, you know, it has moved me to actually want to know more from this man. I want to find out why he ticks, and this is what got me involved with it.
I first met him back in October of 2013. at which point I was recovering from breast cancer. And I went to a business startup exhibition in Olympia, and he was doing a presentation there. And I was just really impressed by his enthusiasm, his sincerity, and the fact that he seemed so genuine, you know.
Copied his ideas, all the various strategies he's taught me over the years, and he is responsible for transitioning me away from the job environment into a way where I'm now actually an established home business coach, and I've got so much to thank him for. Highly recommend that you follow Andrew Reynolds.
I think Andrew Reynolds is brilliant. He's inspired me, you know, he's given people opportunity who haven't got much money to sort of give them confidence to build up a business, and I'm really grateful for him for that.
I only met him for the first time today, and he is, what you see is what you get with Andrew. He's a good, down-to-earth, just ordinary guy, but inside I think he's quite a clever brain, and I'm very impressed with him. I think he's great.
You know, when you work online and you see a lot of people online, there's sometimes a big disconnect between what you see online and when you meet the person. But with Andrew, absolutely not. What you see is what you get.
Andrew Reynolds, I think he's a really inspirational guy. He's done so well for himself, coming from such a poor background, rising to become a millionaire. It's fantastic, and really, I do believe that his system is possible simply because I've seen so many other people doing it themselves.
I just think he's a man of passion, he's a man of the people, and if there's more people like that, then this would be a better world. So we're about wanting to change the world, make a difference. It's not just about money, it's about the passion, and it's about what you can do with the money to change people.
I think Andrew Reynolds is the first man who made me believe that I could become rich. And I didn't think I could become rich. And guess what? I am rich.
Andrew, I've seen his work over a number of years, and he is one of the few people in this industry that I absolutely trust. He's a genuine guy. I've used his products, and they do what they say.
Well, Andrew Reynolds is probably one of the world's best people I've ever come across. I've been to one of his events before, and I'll keep going again. I'm looking forward to the next time he's on.
I think Andrew Reynolds is a very humbling guy, and I'm very impressed with the way he talks, and I'm very impressed with the way he gives out his information to you, and I think he's a really genuine soul.
Well, I think Andrew Reynolds is a real genuine guy, someone you can trust, and I think that's important when you're trying so many different things on the internet. And like myself, I've been involved in so many scams, so it's actually wonderful to be in someone that's really genuine for a change.
I believe Andrew is a brilliant guy. He has got a big heart. You don't find a lot of people with money, who have made so much money, caring for people who the kind of people that Andrew is actually caring for. He has got a passion to help those who cannot help themselves. He's using his money just to bring people into a place where they can enjoy life. And he is transforming all our lives by giving us an opportunity to make also a lot of money so that more people will be able to give to more needy causes. So I think what he's doing is so brilliant.
He's a genuine, down-to-earth chap who found a way to make money and wants to share that with the world, and he wants people to enjoy the same success that he's enjoyed, and he's a thoroughly honest man with total integrity.
You can really resonate with him. He's a great, you can really think I can actually do this program.
Not only the money, I know he's a wealthy man, but he's the person I want to listen to where this business is concerned. I know there are many others, and I'm not decrying those at all, but he's the person I want to listen to.
Click the button below and I'll send you your complete package today so that you can get started straight away.